And, Coach, we are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome here in New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Smith, his first carry. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
On second down, here's Smith. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
King to throw on third down. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 14 yards there on a Falcon first down. A first down carry for Smith. Some nifty running, but it only gets him to the 45. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
58, right over there, right over there.
Looking to throw on second down. King, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
Third and 14.
And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. Here's King. From the gun, he'll throw. He completes it to Jones. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. Third and long.
Let's go.
Back to throw. King looking deep for Julio. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Now Benjamin. Call that a 48-yard punt and made even better by a loss on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. throwing on first down. Love. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. It's no secret that this is a team that's built on passing, but as you always tell me, you have to throw the run in there every now and then to keep that pass sharp.
Yeah, you have to, because otherwise, if they never have to worry about running the football, it is just a controlled sprint to your quarterback, and eventually, you're calling on your backup quarterback.
But they got to do better than that last go-around. They went in the wrong direction. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Kamara's got the first down and then some. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with touchdown number 12 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left,
more football
early in November, but they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
To throw is King. To throw on 2nd down. That's going to be caught. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. These two teams all tied after one. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield, picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
Looking to throw. Love. And this one complete to Smith. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Benjamin. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Saints have taken the lead. Looks good on the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Space to maneuver at the 40. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Falcons. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Running the jet sweep with Ridley. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 36 yards on the play.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They run. Devontae Freeman. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman. His 5th touchdown now on the year. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Tavecchio good on the extra point. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Check 13. Check 13.
2nd and 5. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
I smell fear in that offense. Kill.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Love. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And a nice gain of 21 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 39-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Keep playing hard, fellas.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 4.
Let's get it.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. From the gun on 3rd down, Love. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
Watch the whip.
On 1st down, Smith. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Marcus Davenport there to take him down.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Hey, check Mike 47. Check Mike 47. 3 bucks.
Now King looking to throw on 2nd down. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 14 yards there and a Falcon 1st down.
On the set. 58. It's Mike. 66.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Smith. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Here we go. Check 24. No.
On 2nd down now, it's Smith. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Ito Smith. His 11th touchdown of the year as his guys are able to regain the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this 2nd quarter. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And the lead is now 21-14. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On 3rd down, Love. Over the middle, complete. That's Collier. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. On 1st and 10, Love. And the ball comes out. Love lost it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Collier. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. From the gun on 3rd down, Love. He wants it all for the end zone. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
Hey, keep it up, keep it up. 45's the mark. I'm going to run you over.
On 4th down, Love. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals, because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Five men in the secondary now for the Falcons on third down. From the gun, Love. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down. It appears they're going to come up empty on this first drive of the second half, still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, when you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work while they on the sidelines go over what they're doing offensively and formulate a proper plan.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Falcons will be taking over first and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Got it. Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
King now on third down. And he's caught on his sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up fourth. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And that will skip out of bounds right at about the 18-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
At the 18-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. Operating from the gun. Love. It's caught. Smith. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Complete to Tre'Quan Smith. It's a gain of 5. Brings up third and 5.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough third and 5. From the gun, Love. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got third and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
This is taken at the 23. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. After the penalty, here's Freeman. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
Ready. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. I got you.
To throw on 2nd down. King, complete to Jones. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
A gain of 17, but it brings up 3rd down.
Ready. It's our time. Check three. Switch.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that 1st. Staying on the ground. This time it's Smith. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. King. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack.
Like how they've started the 3rd quarter here. They force a punt on the 1st drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. King operating from the gun. And that will be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 21-yard line.
Off the play fake. Love. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. The Saints on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Love. This pass complete to Higgins. He'll get 15 and a Saints 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Back to the ground. It's Kamara. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
At the 47-yard line.
On the double. 58, come on.
On 1st down, Smith. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up.
Oh, no, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. And his carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry. Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Here's King to throw on 3rd down. He's going to go up top, and this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. In for the score, and the Falcons push further out in front. And Charles, the defender, was there. He just didn't get it.
Sometimes these plays turn into basketball in a sense, with 2 guys going up for the football. Which guy's going to box the other away from it and grab it?
Yeah, I know you hear it a lot, but it's just the will to get it, right?
Oh, without a doubt. The will, as well as some really nice touch on the ball that was thrown.
And some talent, too. Morstead out. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. It's a big play there for the Saints. 47 yards. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st down, Love looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. They'll run it with Kamara, and he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game, as his guys are back within a single score. Important extra point up and through, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
They go play action, so they will look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Returning, it's Benjamin. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. 1 possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As he'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock.
Check 45, somebody. Check 45. On the arm.
back to throw. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. He'll look to throw. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds. 19 left. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He's back to throw. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Check, check.
To throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
It's now 2nd and 10.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Brings up 3rd down and 10.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. But, Charles, a one-score game. Down to the end we went. They had one final play in that one-score game. We all knew what was coming. The Hail Mary, they just couldn't get it done.
Wasn't exactly complicated, was it? We all knew, as you said, and go long and see if we can find someone open. They didn't get it done. Someone's happy. Someone is not.
So for Atlanta, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3.